You're listening to Talking Sports with Randy.
AC broadcast facility, and I think we've extended the cord now.
Oh, good.
So it's gone over the water, through the woods, to David Feldman's, I was going to say house, but he's in Spain. Dave, how are you?
I'm doing good, my man. How are you?
Not too bad. We appreciate your time. I don't know if it's work or vacation, so I don't want to hold you long on it, but I thought it was so cool. I saw the post of yours on Facebook and the T-shirt and what you're doing and why you're doing it. The T-shirt says, "Make America Brave Again." Talk about that. We just had an FBI agent on and we talked about the situation. But talk about what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Can you curse?
Depends on what word you use, but no, you can't say the F word.
Say it in Spanish.
Yeah.
Well, this wasn't really a political thing, right? This wasn't Republican, Democrat, Trump, Biden. It wasn't any of that. I mean, I do support Trump, but I'm not, a Trumper, right? But I think that America is weak, or a bunch of the P words, or a bunch of them, and it's the P-word-fication of America, and that's what's happening now. And I just wanted to take a stand, make everybody, let's get America back. Let's get those strong men and women back. I mean, my daughter, like I said, I correct her, and she's like, "You can't talk to me like that." What? When we were growing up, if we said that to our parents, what would happen?
Oh, I would have got beat up. I did get beat up. Dave, I did get beat up by my parents. Right.
It was really just like enough was enough, and I'm not saying I'm going to change the world, but I think it's a pretty good movement. Unfortunately, today I found out that I can't have the trademark, so I'm just going to do it to raise money for the fire chief's family. Look, I mean, you talk about heroic. I mean, you jump in front of a bullet to save your family. I mean, that's unbelievable, right? Not a lot of people would do that, and he did it. So whatever we can do to raise a little awareness of the just getting America back, getting them, the real men and the real women back into America, and helping the cause of the firefighter's family, the fire chief's family that died, on that night, which is so unfortunate. But if we can do all those things at once, I think it's great. And just so you do know, I am in Spain for a press conference we have tomorrow. We're announcing our Spain card in Maribello, Spain, and Conor McGregor will be here with us.
Well, let me jump on a plane, and I'll be there tomorrow. But, getting back to the shirt real quick, we talk about, or I talk about this a lot. All of us say, if you touch my granddaughter, I'm going to come after you. And how many people actually follow through with that? We know that Cain Velasquez did, which I still say he was wrong, but, he did what we've all said. Mark Coleman running into a house, that's burning down. What this man did is incredible, because he did what we've all said we would do, but we don't know if we really could do it, because we've never been put in the position, and that's why I love this shirt. We're going to order some of the shirts, and we want to help in any way we can.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, I appreciate that. That's awesome. But, yeah, man, it's just, man, we grew up in a time where we had to respect people, right? You had to respect your parents. You had to respect people that you talk to, man. There's none of that anymore. And I just feel like, if men became men, maybe that 20-year-old boy wouldn't have been on top of a roof, right, taking a shot at the president. I mean, maybe that wouldn't have happened, right? We don't know, but if we do things just a little differently, I think that we can make America so much better.
I know that Mike and Matt both have something, but I want to say the same thing as you, and people know that I am a Trump guy and not a Trumper either, but I like Trump to a certain point. I would be just as furious if somebody took a shot at Biden. And, like you, it's not a political thing. First of all, you don't shoot at people, and you certainly don't shoot, a president, former or not, and that's why my blood. Go ahead, Matt.
Dave, so obviously, I come from the pizza industry, so I'm just trying to do my part from our industry to make pizza great again, to make America great again. So anything that we can do to help you with your making America brave again, I got my support all day long.
Hey, David, it's Mike Straka. How you doing, brother? Listen, first of all, the press conference tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Where can people see that?
They can see it on the BKFC app, BKFC YouTube. I think it's also airing on Fubo TV as well. It'll also be on all of our social medias, running it live. Conor McGregor social media, Mac Life social media, BKFC social media. So it'll be really, you can't miss it. If you're looking for it, you're going to find it.
Well, it'll also be available on Conor McGregor's yacht.
Yeah, and that brings me to my.
I was just there. I literally was just there.
That brings me to my next question, David. Are you guys? Are you guys going into business with Conor? Is that part of the announcement?
No, Conor. We already made that announcement. Conor already became an investor in BKFC about a little over a month ago.
Right.
Mike just moved to Tampa and he lives under a rock, so you have to excuse
Not really
that.
true. Not really true.
Final thing for you. I know it's getting later out there in Spain. I know you got other things to do. Anything else? What's coming up schedule-wise? Not announcements or anything, but where can we start booking flights to?
I mean, the next one's a really big one. It's Sturgis. We're going to have our event at the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally in Sturgis, South Dakota. Britton Hart's going to take on Taylor Starling for the 115-pound championship, women's championship. And there's going to be anywhere from a minimum of 25 to a maximum of 40,000 people live in attendance watching that fight. It's going to be just unbelievably amazing.
Yeah, I met Taylor the last time you were here in Tampa with BKFC. She had a great fight, and I covered that for my other radio show. That was a great. I became an instant fan of Taylor.
Yeah, no, definitely. She came to fight. She became a meme from that fight, but I mean, she comes and fights, and I think it's going to be a special matchup.
Good stuff, David. Thank you very much. Like I said, and like you said, you're in Spain. To take the time to come on the program means a lot to us, and we'll talk when you get back to the States.
Of course. Thanks, man.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
David Feldman, you're president of BKFC with the big announcement coming tomorrow. But he was just on the yacht.
Thanks, Mike. You got me off the hook because I falsely accused Max of being a part of the inaugural Jits King tournament that I emceed, and I forgot that he wasn't there, and I didn't know him. But that's misleading.
I forgot that Conor McGregor was already in business with him.
Well, Bartow Ford, because that's the same region of Lakeland where all the guys from Jits Kings, that's where they're from. Like Tony Salazar, he's doing all the promotional video work for the Bartow Ford. So all the Jitsu guys that I know from that area of Central Florida. And so I just thought you were part of that first inaugural event. So my apologies, Max. But
you're good, brother, man.
At least I knew Conor McGregor was the owner of the BKFC.
Part owner.
That's a higher news. Higher news.
Part owner. All right, so we're 7, 8 days away from your fight. The training still going on? Do you cut training back? A lot of times fighters, this is when they get hurt, a couple days before a fight. So do you pull it back a little bit?
I mean, we're definitely doing still intense work, but we're not focusing more so on the sparring aspect and stuff like that. The last sparring session is going to be probably tonight, and then other than that, just fine-tune, run a couple gauntlets and things like that, just make sure we're fine-tuned, the cardio is on point.
I wouldn't, back in the day, I don't know who's there, or if guys like Oleg is still there, and I don't know if I want to run a gauntlet with those guys. That's why I want an early Chris Rodriguez. I don't want the Chris Rodriguez here. Now, will you stay and watch the main event after? Will you watch any of the before? How is your process the day of the fight?
Day of the fight, I mean, I just go in there, stay up in the warm-up room until 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, I'll start my stretching, my warm-ups, and I get a good hour of just breaking a sweat. I had to be really nice and loose, so that way when I'm in the cage, it's just everything I visualized leading up to this point, the 8 weeks of blood, sweat, and tears, to sacrifice everything to put it on the line, and then I'm calculated cold-blooded killer when it comes to that time, and I crawl into that cage.
I know John Morgan had a lot of really nice things to say about you.
Thank you, John Morgan. Appreciate you.
So when he told me that whole thing, I'm like, yeah, we got some local guys. Let's get them on.
So Randy doesn't have nice things to say about you. No, he doesn't like people with tattoos or tattoo people. But we're trying to get Randy to get a tattoo, a permanent ink tattoo. So what should we get Randy?
All right, let me tell you this before this moron continues. My first tattoo will be 3 days after my cremation. So
Randy's against tattoos. But
I just don't like them. I don't care. I don't like that my daughter has them.
But what would you suggest would be a great tattoo we could get Randy for his first one?
Very first one.
What would you get for a first tattoo?
How do you tattoo a bucket of ashes? because, like I said, it's
3 days after.
We watch a lot of those reality TV shows, and I told my wife, and I don't want him to know, but I have applied for the Amazing Race with this idiot.
That's cool.
So
that's awesome.
Can you imagine? You don't know. Can you imagine what that's going to be like
It'd
if
be a
that?
great show.
Oh my God, it'll be
on the
awful.
passenger side. I want to be on the passenger side so I can show my tattoo.
It'll be awful. So, have you ever watched the Amazing Race?
Not only have I watched it, I did a little when I went on a cruise with my wife. We did the Cozumel Amazing Race.
Oh, okay.
So it was like a whole little mini one
Very
within
cool.
the Cozumel city, and it was beautiful. It was a great time.
So you know how you can get the fast pass and all that. In this one episode, you got a fast pass by getting a tattoo. And I told my wife, I'm like, I guess we'd leave that week.
Wow.
The only thing that I would consider, and it would have to be for something like that, would be a dot.
Like a freckle.
And I have enough of them.
Yeah, I had enough freckles.
Right. So if I could just do a dot, and I don't even care where, maybe.
Did they have a certain requirement how big it had to be?
I don't know. They didn't say that.
That's the tricky
two
part.
people just got the tats, and I'm like, I'm not getting a tattoo.
I got Muscles Mouse from Tom and Jerry, but he's got a little microphone in his hand. I put a microphone in his hand.
That's badass.
Yeah.
All right. So you know what the best tattoo I've ever seen is?
What?
So the biggest fan of this radio program for years wanted to get a Knockout Radio tattoo. And I said, no, it's the dumbest thing ever. You know, not the show, just tattoos. And, no, this guy's fully tapped.
Sounds pretty
Now,
dumb, too.
his name's Shane Grossman. He's on my Facebook page. Go check him out. You can see some of these. Some of these are, it is what it is. So a former athlete told a fan, yeah, you can get it done, and he didn't do it. So Grossman's like, see, and Randy won't let me do it. I said, screw it. Do it. I don't care. He goes, I only have 2 spots, below my knee and my neck. Where do you want it done?
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, as much as I hate the idea, the neck? What are you kidding me? So we go to film it in Ybor, and I just didn't have the basketballs to say something because he said it. It's my decision. He's just the canvas. So he lays down. Were you there for this?
I was part of the weekend, but I didn't go.
Okay, I don't remember if he went. So they
Mike Trina.
Yeah, Mike Trina.
Yeah.
So they start to do it. I want it Undertaker style. I want it on his throat, right?
Yep.
So they start doing it on his side. And I'm like, but I couldn't say something.
Okay.
I should have, but I couldn't say anything. So he has it on the side of his neck.
The whole star, knockout, the glove, the whole bit.
The whole
Wow.
bit. So I'm not overly happy, right? I mean, he's got my tattoo on him, and I'm pissed, right? Not at Grossman. And so Shane goes, I'll never do this again. I'll do it one more time. And he also put it on his hand.
Whoa.
So he travels to a lot of fights. He gets a lot of pictures. So he takes the picture, and then he sticks. So it's the Knockout Radio logo. So
That's pretty cool, actually.
That is really neat.
It's
There
insanity.
was a time, this is true, that when UFC first got on television, they became really popular. There were tattoo artists that were suing fighters because their tattoo
Was showing up.
on television
Yeah.
without his permission.
Right.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And some of them lost they had to pay the tattoo artist.
Did they really?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was the most bizarre thing I've ever heard in my life.
Wow.
Do you have a better question than that stupid one?
No, but you can tell the story since we're going to story time with Uncle Randy. You can talk about how we almost ran out of gas on Alligator
Uncle
Alley.
Creepy took that from me, by the way.
Run out of gas on Alligator Alley.
Tell the story.
No, it's your story.
I had a crazy story. You're talking about that long road
Yeah.
going across to Miami, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I used to run solar appointments, solar deals, and roofing, things of that nature before I switched to becoming a pro. Me and my wife.
I could make some really sarcastic statements, but I won't.
Me and my wife, it was like probably 2 in the morning at this point. Got done with the last appointment like around 9. And had some good food, and then we decided to ride back. Dumbest mistake. So as we're driving, you just see headlights coming right at you, and I'm not that I'm about to fall asleep, but it is late.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, we just had like a spin out because we thought the car was just coming right at us. She was asleep,